Hey everyone, it's Shannon and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought I would share with you guys how to edit like an influencer, I guess. So many of you guys asked me over on Instagram how I edit my photos and stuff, so I thought I'd share it with you guys as it's changed a little bit since I last filmed a video like this. When did I even film that video? Maybe it was back in lockdown 1. I thought I would share it with you guys as I feel like there's a lot of editing, like little secrets and stuff that I've learned on the way that I feel like no one really speaks about. So yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you do, then please make sure to smash that button and of course subscribe down below. But yeah, let's just get into the video. I mean, I forgot to charge my phone before this video, which is great, so I've just got my laptop sitting here. First off, I just wanted to quickly show you guys what I take my photos on. So I actually have the iPhone 11 Pro. However, I don't get my photos on this anymore. I actually get it on Cal's iPhone 11. For some reason, I don't know why, I just think they look better on his phone than they do on mine. No, Shan has the iPhone 12 Pro Max and she says that she prefers the photos on mine compared to hers. I know that a lot of Apple iPhones cameras are different. After doing a little bit of research, I actually found out that probably the best camera was the iPhone 8 Plus, which I mean I don't have, and I'm actually so tempted to go and buy the phone just for the camera. As far as what you're taking your photos on, I honestly just feel like it's up to you and personal preference, because some people would love the photos that come out on this phone. Me personally, I'm not a big fan. Usually I'll get a bunch of photos taken. When I mean a bunch, I mean at least 300 to 400 a time. When you're taking through and scrolling through them photos, it doesn't feel that much. It's only when I select them on Cal's phone and airdrop them over to me, I realise how many photos I've actually taken. And I go through and just heart all the ones that I like. I feel like that's pretty standard. Here is my photo taking tips part of the video. Just thought I'd show you guys a couple of tips on taking photos and stuff. The one thing I will say is that lighting is definitely key when it comes to taking a good Instagram photo. So many questions on how my photos are such good quality and stuff, and it's honestly all just down to do with the lighting, which with the English weather is not ideal, because on a cloudy day I'll go out and take a photo and I'm just not feeling it whatsoever. As soon as the sun's out a little bit, so much better. However, direct sunlight is also not ideal because you're literally there like squinting, so you need it on like a sunny day where it's kind of a bit cloudy. So it does take time to get to know your angles, and I feel like as soon as you start knowing your angles, again the photos turn out better. Like I've been doing Instagram for over a year now and I've only really started to find how I like my photos, and also it's the person taking the photos as well. You're going out on your own, if you've got your tripod you can kind of angle it to how you want. However, when I'm trying to instruct someone, aka my boyfriend, on how I like my angles and stuff, it takes time for kind of them to get used to it as well. I'm very bossy with my photographer and I'm like, yeah, move it down, tilt it up, do that. So that's kind of what you have to be like, to kind of work out how you want it. Also, especially when you're out in public, you've just got to own it. Like, it is sometimes embarrassing when people are walking past looking at you, but if you just own it, like your photos will turn out so much better. And also make sure what you're wearing you're confident in as well, because I've gone out and taken photos in an outfit that I'm not 100% in before, and I just look back at the photo and just thought, no, I hate the photos, I hate the outfit, it's just a no. Trust me, as soon as you're in a confident outfit, you're feeling like a bad bee, let me tell you, them photos will also look 10 times better. I feel like that's quite self-explanatory. However, trust me, as soon as you do it, you're like, oh my God, yes. I just want to reiterate, is that the right word? Getting good photos and getting good angles honestly does take time. Everyone has good and bad photo days. Some days I will literally spend my whole morning getting ready, going out and hating the photos, and I just feel like I've wasted my day. Honestly, the meltdowns that I have, sometimes they're a bit ridiculous. Stressful trying to find locations. My advice would literally just be to walk around everywhere. Obviously multi-story car parks are the one. So basic, I know, but they're so ideal, especially now in lockdown. Like there's no one around. It's literally the perfect location. So one thing that I've noticed, especially with Apple and my storage issues, is that if you're someone that doesn't have a lot of storage like me, Apple always like puts down the quality of the photo when you take it. So if you're just scrolling through your camera roll thinking all of these are really bad quality, just double tap on the photo and then it will zoom in, and then the quality will be so much better, and then when you zoom out it will literally change the whole photo. I didn't know this for ages, and I'm scrolling through thinking, why are they such bad quality? Like, Cal, what are you doing? Like, why do they look so bad? And then as soon as I realised the double tap thing, when you zoom in, it changes the photo completely. There was one photo that I literally hated, double tapped in and was like, oh my God, it's not even that bad. And my little tips, if you guys do have any more questions, then just comment them down below. Just move myself over a little bit, but I'm going to pop the screen record on the screen. So this is an example of like some of the photos that I took the other day. A couple of them are hearted. Yeah, this is the photo that I'm gonna edit for you guys today. So first up, I'm gonna upload this into Facetune. I have Facetune 1 and Facetune 2. I personally think they both have features that are really good, but most of the time I just use normal Facetune. But then I like to go in and smooth my skin very gently. With Facetune, the more you go in, because you can't adjust how smooth you want it to be, the more you go over it, the more like smoother it gets. So I just like dust over. So first I'm gonna dust over my forehead because it's a little bit patchy. I got literal like gel all over my forehead and I couldn't get it off, and I was like, you know what, it's fine, I'll blur it out. So I'm just gonna go through and blur my forehead quite a bit because, you know, need to cover that up. And then I just lightly dust around my under eyes and my face. And then because I've got my arms out, I'm just gonna lightly go over my eyes quickly, my stomach, and also my neck, just a little bit. And I like to go in with the detail tool again really lightly because this can sometimes look a little bit too much. I know that these features are on Facetune too, however I just prefer normal Facetune. I don't know why. So yeah, I just go in and detail my eyes and my lips, just like a little bit. And then I also do my eyebrows as well. I love doing my eyebrows. I feel like it makes such a difference. But if I've got jewellery on, I'll go over that a little bit. Just makes my earrings pop. And recently I've started doing a new little trick that I've discovered with the whiten tool. So I always used to go in and like whiten my eyes anyway. So I always do that like a little bit. And I like to use the whiten tool to like highlight some areas on my face. So I just go over my cheeks a little bit, underneath my brow bone, on the other side, and then in my inner corner. For this photo, just for the highlight on my cheek, I am just going to go over and smooth it just so it doesn't look as like sharp. That's everything I do on Facetune, and then I upload the photo into Lightroom, which kind of does all the magic. I prefer doing all the smoothing stuff before I edit any filters and stuff. Just feel like that looks a lot better. I upload the photo into Lightroom. I always click auto first to see what the auto effects say, and sometimes it's like, oh no, sometimes it's good. I feel like when I edited this photo yesterday, the auto feature was pretty good. Yeah, sometimes if a little bit different, I'll go and play around with it. So this is what the auto is doing. I then like to go into colours, and with a lot of my photos, I always reduce the blue and reduce the yellow. With this photo, because obviously I've got a yellow tracksuit on, I can't be reducing the yellow too much. It will take the colour away from the tracksuit. However, with the majority of my photos, I always decrease the yellow quite a lot. I am still gonna like decrease it a little bit. This is the thing though, like look at the stones. Like I want them to not be yellow, but obviously I can't do that. If anyone has a good app where you can just select a thing, I feel like there's an app that you can do that with, but I just don't know what it is. Then I go in to the blue and I reduce that a little. I go into the light section and I do just play around with them a little bit just to kind of see if I want to up the contrast, down the contrast. I always usually up the whites and down the blacks. I always down the highlights as well. I feel like with Lightroom, with this feature, it is honestly all about playing around and find out what's best for you. So I know a lot of people on this feature, I'll show you guys, you can actually copy and paste the settings, which is really good if you want like a feed that all looks the same. However, I find that with a lot of my photos, all the filter is just not the same because I have different lighting all of the time. If I've got multiple pictures in the same place, if I'm doing a swipe, then I always copy and paste the filters, so then on the swipe all the photos literally look the same. So that's everything with Lightroom. As you can see, like I haven't edited it loads. Here it's just all about making yourself stand out a bit more, making you look a bit more vibrant. I always love using the vibrance tool. This really helps as well when you decrease the blues and the yellows, because upping the vibrance just makes your photo pop a little bit more. This is before and this is after, and I save that, and then we've got one more app that I go into. Then I'm gonna pop it into color tone. I go to filters and I'm gonna select Uluwatu, I think that's what you say. I've literally done this for the longest time since lockdown 1. I've always used this filter. I don't know why, it just works for me. If you scroll back at my feed, I was loving this filter to 100, and now I look back and think, no Shannon, no. I just like using this filter because it whitens up the background a bit, and you guys know my feed is like white, plainish background. I only have it to like between 20 and 30 max, depending on the photo, just because I don't like to see a major difference. I still want to keep like the natural lighting getting the natural effects of the photo. Don't want to over filter it. However, it's quite nice to have just like a little filter over all of my photos so my feed kind of starts to look the same. As you guys know, I'm not a real big fusser on feeds and stuff. Like, I don't really care how my feed looks that much. However, I don't like the same photo being underneath another, and I do like it having like kind of like a same sort of sheen to it. That's not even the right word. This is what the photo looked like before, and then this is what the photo looks like after. It's all just about enhancing yourself, making yourself stand out. I like to upload it into Instagram and sharpen it, which I will just quickly show you guys. One thing I want to mention, both apps that I've used, Lightroom and Colour Tone, they all have a sharpening like little effect on them. Colour Tone one is like really strong, and the Lightroom one's okay. Like, it's a bit more subtle, so if you're wanting a bit more subtle sharpen, then I'll do that. And because I always sharpen in Instagram anyway, I just don't like over sharpening the photo because I just feel like it looks really weird if you use like loads of different apps. That's just, again, my personal opinion, so I only really sharpen it in Instagram. This is the photo in Instagram. I just like to go to edit and sharpen, and then I usually sharpen it between 30 to 45 depending on the photo. Sometimes it just looks a bit stupid if it's all the way up, so I'm gonna go to probably to 30, maybe 25 for this one. Let's go to next and then click on the preview and see if I'm happy with it. A lot of the times I go in and sharpen it a bit more. Sometimes when I first sharpen a photo it looks really odd, and then when I actually go back and do it more, it actually doesn't look that odd. So I completely forgot to mention this app called Snapseed, where you can go to tools and click the selective tool, and you can change the brightness of a certain area. So as you can see, I'm literally like expanding in and out on my face because my face was like a lot darker in this picture because of the lighting. You can also then scroll down and change the contrast as well, and then you can also swipe up again and change the saturation, and then again with the structure as well. It's such a cool like little feature. And then Snapseed also has this thing where you can click the expand tool and you can actually like extend the background. This photo is not a very good example at all, but if you've got like a more of a plain background, it's so ideal if your photo doesn't fit into Instagram properly. And then this is an app called Retouch, where you can remove unwanted things from your photo. For example, these lines on the wall, I can go to the line tool and then just remove them. It also has an effect where you can just remove like certain objects. So for example, I'm just removing these, which I probably wouldn't do, but it's just an example to show you guys how good it is. It's actually so sick. So that is the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little editing video. Hopefully I helped some of you guys out, and yeah, I will see you all in my next video.